Am I the asshole? Found my girlfriend's wigs, tried them on and made fun of them, and now she's upset. So, my girlfriend, 20F, and I, 23M, have been dating for about a year now, and we've always had a playful and lighthearted relationship. Today, she had to go out for a few hours, and I was home alone. I decided to use the opportunity to clean the bathroom. As I was tidying up, I noticed a box tucked away in one of the cabinets. Being curious, I opened it and found several wigs inside. Now, it's important to mention that my girlfriend is black, and she often wears different wigs as a way to change up her style. I've always admired her confidence and versatility when it comes to her hair, and I've never had an issue with it. However, in that moment, I thought it would be funny to try on one of the wigs and surprise her when she got back. I didn't see any harm in it because we've always shared a good sense of humor, and I genuinely didn't think she would be upset. So, I put on one of the wigs and looked at myself in the mirror. I must admit, it was pretty amusing. I decided to take it a step further and started joking around, doing silly dances and making exaggerated expressions in the mirror. In my mind, it was all just harmless fun, and I didn't mean any harm by it. Unfortunately, my girlfriend returned earlier than expected and caught me in the act. The moment she walked in, she had this look of shock and sadness on her face. I immediately took off the wig and tried to explain that it was just a joke, but she didn't say a word. She quietly went into our bedroom, and I could hear her sobbing softly. Feeling terrible about what I had done, I knocked on the bedroom door and asked if I could come in. She didn't respond, so I slowly entered and found her sitting on the edge of the bed, her face buried in her hands. I tried to comfort her and apologize, but she just looked up at me, tears streaming down her face. She explained to me that the reason she wears wigs is not just for style, but also because she feels insecure about her natural hair. She opened up about how society often places unfair expectations on black women's hair, and how she sometimes struggles with her own self-image. Seeing me make fun of the wigs, even in a lighthearted way, triggered all those insecurities and made her feel ashamed. I felt like the worst person in the world for causing her pain, and I truly never intended for my actions to hurt her. I apologized profusely and told her that I would never make light of something that meant so much to her again. I assured her that I love and support her no matter what, and that I would do whatever it takes to make it right. Now, we're at a bit of an impasse. She accepted my apology but needs some space to process everything. She's decided to stay with a friend for a couple of days to clear her mind. I completely understand and respect her need for space, but I can't help but feel like I've damaged our relationship irreparably. Am I the asshole? Edit. Holy shit, I didn't accept this post would garner much attention, but I'm grateful for the advice and opinions you've shared. I already knew that what I did to my girlfriend was disgusting, but after reading your comments, I now understand that the situation was far more serious than I initially thought. I want to apologize not only for my actions but also for my disrespectful and unacceptable behavior, and as soon as I have an update I'll let you know. Info. Were the silly dances and exaggerated expressions what she was upset about, or the fact that you'd tried on, potentially damaged one of her wigs? Shock and sadness seems to be an unusual reaction for just having a wig on. You are the asshole. I hope you've learned an important lesson here. Because heaven knows your girlfriend did about the quality of man she should expect. YTA, but you made a mistake, you apologized, and that's all you can do. If she comes back, I would have a serious talk about future triggers, on both sides. Because you guys do have a playful relationship but you don't intend harm. It might also be good to take this time to read about black women's experiences like the book, Don't Touch My Hair. Not the asshole, you haven't made an attempt to justify and rag on your GF. You've just said what happened and how badly you feel about it. Just give her the space she's asked for so she can process it all and, hopefully, get over it, because it's obvious that you were just having a bit of fun and weren't in any way mocking her. Not the asshole. I can't for my life understand what you did wrong or even why you should apologize. Am I the asshole for upstaging my wife on our son's birthday? So my 46M son's 19M birthday was yesterday. A few weeks before his birthday he and my wife, 48F, also his mother, got into an argument over something really petty, if I'm being honest. This happens a lot. She will find the smallest things to complain to him about. But due to this argument, she refused to plan anything for his birthday. So I started to plan it. Now before anyone thinks I went and planned a massive party, by plan I mean get him some presents, a cake and make sure we have money for takeout that night. This is what we've done for a while as he stopped wanting parties after 15, and even before then his birthday parties were really just small gatherings with a handful of friends. Now I'm going to be honest here. I don't know much about my son's interest. I know what he's into but not enough information about specifics to get him anything. But I do know the person that knows him better than anyone is his best friend, who I will call Alice, 18F. So I called Alice and asked her about what kind of things my son would like as a present. She was immediately able to help me. I know my son loves K-pop, but she was able to show me what albums he would like and ended up getting him one that released very recently. I actually had to pre-order it after we had the phone call, from his favorite group. As well as these small picture cards of his favorite member. The conversation somehow also ended up at cakes, and she was also able to help me with what kind of cake is his favorite. And what things to avoid, like buttercream as it makes him feel ill, and I got everything sorted. His birthday came and I made him and everyone breakfast before work. And when I got back we opened presents, ordered food and did the cake. When I say we I mean me, my son, my daughters and my Mill who lives with us. My wife seemed upset and did not join us. She came down to get some food and some cake and take it to our room to eat. When I went to bed I asked her what was up and she said she felt like I was trying to upstage her, and that our son favors me anyway and I'm not helping. She knows that neither of us know enough about K-pop to have gotten him stuff to do with his favorite group without help, and told her I asked Alice for help with the gift and cake. She got upset again and said I was proving her point. She then just went off complaining how she was excluded and she didn't like the cake and that no one had paid any attention to her and had left her out of everything. She kept interrupting me as I tried to apologize to I just gave up and slept on the sofa. I know my wife and know she can be unreasonable at times, but I am wondering if I'm ta. Your wife wanted to cancel any celebration of your son's birthday because they had an argument? Either it was a very big deal of an argument or she's very vindictive. You on the other hand did what was needed to make your son feel special on his birthday, and I think asking his best friend for advice was very thoughtful. Your wife is more concerned about being upstaged by you than the fact that, had you not organized all this, your son would have had no birthday celebration and gifts. Can't imagine being that self-centered and vindictive, to be honest. Not the asshole. Edit to correct mistaken understanding. Thought the argument was you and your wife, not your wife and son. What country are you in that allows you to be married to a toddler? Let her finish her tantrum alone, until she recognizes that she was equally capable of doing any of the things you did, if she cared enough for her own son to try. Nobody paid attention to her. What is she 5 at her son b-day, not hers, not about her. Not the asshole. Your wife is the asshole in this. Not the asshole. Your wife is an asshole for trying to make your son's birthday about her. She is being unreasonable and also narcissistic. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my bridesmaid wear her dead mother's favorite color to my wedding? I, 31F, was married to my amazing husband, 34M, on Friday. The wedding went smoothly, apart from one guest's dress preference, who we'll call Anna. Anna's mother sadly passed away in January this year. Her mother was the light of her life, and ever since she passed, Anna has been understandably uptight and distant. I have helped Anna throughout her entire grieving time. We had been planning this wedding since December, and decided we wanted an ocean-themed wedding. My family and I grew up on the seaside and have always been close to the ocean. I made it extremely clear to all of my bridesmaids that they were to wear blue, a coral pinky color or pastel green. Everyone agreed and seemed to love my choices. Anna's mother always loved the color dark, vibrant purple. Ever since then Anna would buy everything purple if there was a purple choice. Anna and me went for lunch a few weeks after the passing to catch up and support her. At the lunch, Anna asked me if she could please wear a purple dress to my wedding. I'm not crazy about themes usually, but since this wedding was themed to support my family's tradition and considering my maid of honor was already going to be wearing a gorgeous pastel blue dress with purple and gold accents, me and my husband, who I decided to call and discuss the idea with him, politely told her that we understand what she's going through, but we really want bridesmaids on theme. To this she looked hurt, and left lunch earlier than expected. I hardly heard from Anna until around 4 weeks after our lunch, despite my attempts at texting, phoning and even knocking on her door, but she'd continue to shut me off. That was until she texted me, "What do you think of these dresses?" and displayed many different purple dresses in photos. I kindly reminded Anna that she wouldn't be wearing a purple dress to my wedding. Anna was enraged. I tried to tell her that I understand her feelings, but my wedding is my own special day. To this she blocked me. Anna unblocked me 2 days later, apologizing for the way she acted. Well, when the wedding rolled around, Anna showed up in a purple dress. I asked her why she had gone against my wishes and that she either had to change or leave. To this she told me to stop creating a scene and that I was being dramatic and disrespectful. Anna broke out in a screaming match and called me and my family insensitive, selfish bastards. She was escorted out the door screaming. Once the wedding had ended, I received messages from Anna's family, friends and even Anna. They were all saying how Anna was going through a lot and that I was being an asshole. So, am I the asshole for not just letting Anna wear the damned purple dress? Not the asshole, your wedding, your choice, within reason, of course. Your friend is obviously going through a really tough time. Her screaming and insults were out of line, however. Not the asshole. Grief is a horrible thing, but her behavior is not rational or healthy. I hope she gets some help dealing with it, and I'm also very sorry your wedding had this stress on it. I don't think you were being unreasonable at all. Lots of people attend weddings with dress codes, and what have you after losing a loved one? You gotta keep on keeping on. Not the asshole. I get wanting to honor her mom's memory, but it's not her day. It's 100% not her day. She's NTA for asking the first time, but definitely is TA for all her decisions after you said no. Not the asshole. There are 364 other days in the year for your friend to wear purple. This was the one day it really wasn't appropriate. Not the asshole. You have the right to have your wedding the way you want. She does not get to disrespect those choices. Am I the asshole for not giving my mum and dad money to pay their fines? I'd like to know if I'm wrong for not wanting to pay off the court fines my parents have. My sister is in prison. My parents also got into trouble because they helped her hide what she died and lied to the authorities. My dad served 90 days in prison and 20 months of probation. My mum served 180 days in prison and 17 months of probation. They also both have to pay a fine. Since helped my sister and are considered her associates, they can't communicate with her while on probation or until their fines are paid. Once they pay the full amounts of the fine, they can get a waiver. Right now my sister can mail them letters because she has no restrictions on who she can communicate with. But my parents can't write back. It can only be one way. Once my parents get the waiver, they will be able to write her letters, talk to her on the phone once a week, visit her every week. But this can't happen until the fines are paid. Since my sister got arrested, they were able to visit her once before they got arrested too. Right now my sister has no one visiting her. My parents are in debt from my sister's legal fees and their legal fees. They owed more on their house than it sold for. Both my mum and dad were teachers, but their convictions meant they lost their jobs and pensions and will never able to work as teachers again. They went through bankruptcy, but not all debts were wiped away from that. They live in a small apartment and work low-wages jobs and barely have any money. I didn't go to university, but I still took classes to get certified for my job, paramedic. I'm about to be done paying the loans I took for those classes. My parents don't know the exact date, but they know it's coming up. I was 18 when I signed the loan, but I was 17 when I started looking into it. So my mum and dad have an idea of how long the payments would take. They could also estimate how much my rent and other bills are and would know that I make much more than my bills every month. My mum and dad have asked me to give them some money so they can pay off the fines and get the waiver. The amount they want is not all of the extra I have each month. So I can still save according to them. They also want my extra money from when I get paid 3 times in a month instead of 2 times. If I don't do this, it'll be a long time before they can pay the fines. I know my parents are my only family besides my uncle, but I feel my money is my own. Is that selfish like my parents claim? They want me to help them because I'm their daughter. I don't have a reason, I just don't want to, and they aren't happy and are big time angry at me. They want me to change my mind. Not the asshole. These are the consequences of their actions. They should not have hidden sister and they should pay their own fines. Not the asshole. Your parents made their bed when they too knowingly broke the law along with your sister. You are not obligated to suffer their penalty along with them. But consider the consequences of your decision. Will your parents then try to manipulate you by threatening to go no contact? Will it matter to you if they do? Is there an alternative here, such as you being in contact with your sister until your parents' probation is up? Whatever you choose, someone will be unhappy, but you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep them warm. Not the asshole. It is selfish. But you know what? It's your money, that you worked hard for. You're allowed to be selfish with your money. They aren't your spouse or your child. You aren't responsible for them. They both sacrificed everything for your sister. And it's not like they sacrificed for an illness or something, they sacrificed everything, including your access to your own family, for your criminal sister. They also lost whatever you would have inherited and any ability to gain that back. I'd personally be a bit mad at that. And here they are, demanding you make sacrifices so that they can visit the kid they actually care about. Not the asshole. It's not your job to clean up other people's messes. Family or not. Your family broke the law and they need to face the consequences, not you. Not the asshole. These requests always start off small and then grow, and eventually they will pull you down into debt with them. They start off sounding reasonable. It's not all the extra you have each month, but you also deserve to do more than to live just at the minimum level. And what happens if you have a big emergency, and all your money has gone down the black hole that is your parents' fines? Your parents made their own bed, they need to be responsible for getting out of it. And it isn't as if they need the money to make a life again, it's just so they can contact your sister again. But be prepared, it sounds like they will lay on the guilt and manipulation thick in order to get what they want.